Along my journey of wildlife conservation, I've crossed paths with many incredible places and creatures. But once in a while, I receive the opportunity to experience something new. And deep in the wintry forests of Oklahoma, such a first awaits. Black bears were once extinct across the state, but through decades of research, care, and management, biologists and conservationists have nursed this iconic North American species back to a thriving population. Who is responsible for such a miraculous success? I've traveled to southeast Oklahoma to meet these heroes of conservation. And for the first time in my life, get up close and personal with black bears. Well, we're driving into southeast Oklahoma, and most people don't think of Oklahoma as being hilly and full of pine forests, and really this part of the state is very, very beautiful and absolutely perfect black bear habitat. I can't wait to get with these biologists and see actually exactly what this bear management looks like. Well, looks like we found the right office. JD.
Ivan.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Excellent.
Have a seat.
Thank you so much. JD, tell me a little about the history of bears. Have you always had bears here in Oklahoma? Historically, did they occur here?
Certainly, bears were native to this area pre-settlement days, but around the turn of the early 20th century in the state of Oklahoma, they were all but extinct, pretty much wiped off the landscape. Since we started researching them in 2001, we've really seen that population grow to the point where we have about 1,500 to 2,000 in the state of Oklahoma now. So it's a very miraculous turnaround from 0 bears for so many decades to what we see today, a population that's really growing gangbusters.
And how's that all funded, JD?
Well, like all things that we do and most states do, it's funded by hunting and fishing license sales. We get no taxpayer dollars in the state of Oklahoma. Everything we do, from bear research to shooting programs in the school, is all funded off of our hunters and anglers. And in the case of the bear research, it's bear hunters and other hunters, big game hunters in the state of Oklahoma. The whole North American model and the fact that for well over a century, we have turned around wildlife conservation in the United States and North America, all of North America for that matter, and really brought species back from the brink of extinction, all on the backs of dollars that are spent by hunters and anglers and shooters. I think you need to get down and hook up with our research teams in southeast Oklahoma, go out on a den visit and see what we do each and every year to research the bear population in Oklahoma.
Well, I'd love to. Thank you so much for your time.
You bet.
And get with your team out there. I've never actually seen a bear, so I can't wait.
Oh, wait till you get those little ones right in your hands. It's pretty amazing stuff. So you'll have a great time, I have no doubt.
Morning, morning. How are
Morning.
you guys?
Ivan, Jeff Ford.
Ivan Carter, nice to see you.
Sarah Lida.
Hey, Sarah, how are you guys?
Great.
We're going to be looking at a map today that shows approximately where we're going to be tomorrow. The orange is the counties that are open for hunting, and the green on here is the core range of our black bear. Tomorrow, we're going to be in this core area.
So that's the dot more or less where the den is, yeah?
Yes.
Our whole purpose for this den visit is to get a feel for what our recruitment is.
Okay.
So we want to know how many cubs she's having, and more importantly, how many female cubs she's having.
Okay.
Because it's those females that really contribute to population growth and stability. This certain female that we're actually looking at tomorrow, this gives you an idea of what we're looking at for her home range. The interesting thing that we're finding here, so she obviously spends a lot of time in this area in the good habitat, but her den is actually way over here, kind of outside of that
How would
range.
she have found that? Why do you think that she didn't just find a nice little hole there?
Your guess is as good as mine. These girls find some really interesting places, and I think maybe she just wanted us to have to hike.
So is it going to be a bit of a hike to get to a den?
It's going to be a good one. This drop off here is a good steep slope. It's going to be really cold and icy and misty, so definitely bring your warm weather gear and be prepared for
A steep hike in the
a
cold.
steep hike in the cold, for sure.
Cool. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And yeah, look forward to seeing
Thank
my
you.
first real live black bear. I can't wait.
We aim to please.
Amazing what these guys can achieve with a computer screen and some maps and all of the data that they gather, that they analyze and that they turn into good conservation, all of the den visits, the collars and all of the expenses here. If it wasn't for hunters, fishermen and shooters, initiatives like this wouldn't survive, and if initiatives like this don't survive, there's not going to be any wildlife into the future. We're here in Oklahoma today, involved in a black bear initiative. This is going to be unbelievable. I've never even seen a bear, let alone touched a bear, and what I believe is that we're going to be climbing up to a bear den where there's one hibernating. So let's get with the crew and see what's actually going on.
Today we are dealing with Julie, our bear, and she is 15 years old. The name of the game when we get in there is definitely going to be keeping those cubs warm. They rely on mom to keep them toasty at this time of year. The rain is pretty dangerous for the little cubs, so we'll make sure that we keep them dry and warm. Our sedation team will go in, and it could take anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 hours, just depends on how long it takes her to go out. We did have a female run on us the other day when we went in to work her. I wouldn't expect that of one in a rock den in this kind of weather, but you never know what they may do. We do a little bit of work with the cubs, we mark them, we'll change the female's collar out and make sure that all of her markings are still good with ear tags and lip tattoos and things like that. And we'll stay with her long enough to make sure that she's starting to show signs of coming out of sedation. The drug that we use does not have a reversal.
Well, it looks like everybody's getting ready to head out. Hopefully this weather's going to clear a little bit and we're going to get to go to the top of a mountain.
We're not far from her now.
Well, it's pretty cold and it's very lightly snowing. But everybody's up here, and what I'm told is that this potential bear den is probably within about a mile or two of us here. Over this ridge, we've been really quiet coming in now. You know, every step of this is as important as this research is, as important as the conservation is. The welfare of the animal's got to come first. So we're just going to stop here. They're going to start mixing the drugs and preparing the pole syringe, or the jab stick as they call it. You know, what you'll notice is absolutely everybody handling the drugs has got gloves on, and they've got glasses on. These are incredibly potent drugs. And the danger of this is not just the bear. The danger is also the drugs. So what we've got here, this is the end joint of this jab stick, or what we would call a pole syringe, and that actually is the plunger. So you'll push this into the bear, the needle will go into the skin, and the drug will be deployed. This is not a very long stick. It's probably only about 4 feet long, which means you've got to be within 4 feet of this bear. And she's going to be wide awake by the time you put your face in the mouth of her den. Well, here we go. The dart is loaded, or the pole syringe is loaded. Just a few yards away from the mouth of the den. You know what it looks like? It gives me a little bit of concern when the guy's got a flashlight in his hand, because he's going to crawl into this den to drug this bear that's already wide awake and probably protective of its cubs. Yeah, I can see it. Right here, cuddled up with her cubs. The pole syringe is ready. Now Jeff's gonna get in and try and dart her. So just like with a lot of other animals, the less adrenaline they've got in the system, better they metabolize the drug, the adrenaline. Actually, it's just more for it to have to calm down. Pretty amazing. You can hear the cubs squalling in there a little bit. She's got her nose down, which means you've got to be a little bit quick as soon as she goes out so she doesn't suffocate.
Just one cub.
Nope, there's two. This one's a boy.
Oh, look at this little guy. How cool is this? I'm gonna put him in a pocket. The most important thing is that he stays warm and dry.
Oh, it's two boys, I think.
Two little boys. Look at this. This right here is where the conservation rubber meets the road. This is the very front line, and this makes all of the effort, all of the cold, all of the walking, it makes it all worth it. Look at this little guy.
She's good. She's good. She's beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, man, she's a big girl. Yeah. During sedation, her eyes stay open. As long as the mother is breathing fine and we can position her so that she can breathe easily while she's under sedation, we leave her in the den. If there was some concern for her, then we would pull her out. But she seems to be doing really well in here.
Well, it's quite a job keeping these little pockets on these little tiny guys. They've got such sharp claws. They work their way out of it. I'm standing here with Matt Pallett, who's one of the people that all year round is following these bears. He's monitoring these bears. And the collaring that we're going to do on this female and the microchipping of these cubs is going to lead to a huge bunch of knowledge, which hopefully is going to preserve them into the future, isn't it, Matt?
Yes.
Look at this little guy. Oh. Well, this is not a new piece of equipment to us. We've seen these kind of devices fitted onto all kinds of animals, but it's very similar technology to what's used before. This is a slightly different collar to the other ones we've used, and by virtue of this little thing right here, this is a drop-off mechanism where the collar can actually be made to drop off once the study's over, but hopefully this bear is going to be healthy, and this time next year they're going to find her in the den, and possibly even the same den. These bears have actually got a lip tattoo, just so that if something happens in their collar and their ear tag falls out, there is another physical identification. So I'm going to crawl in here with Will and see what he's all about.
So we're looking for a tattoo that we usually put on when we capture in the summertime, but it looks like it's kind of faded out over the years.
Wow, those look like very worn yellow teeth.
Yeah, so it's still kind of hard to tell how they do it. Is you have a residual premolar, so they'll pop that out and then they'll thin slice it in the laboratory, and it's kind of like counting tree rings.
So you've just punched her number in there.
Just punch your number in there, and then I usually take this and
Just rub it in.
rub it in. Try to make sure that ink gets down in those holes pretty good.
Go. Well, we've changed out the collar on this bear. It's pretty dark and pretty tight in here. Courtney's done a great job of getting the other collar off. She's got no rubs on it, and you know, as important as the conservation is, the welfare of the animal has to come first. So we're both absolutely covered in bear poop right now. Funnily enough, it's not as smelly as you would think, but let me tell you, if this is what it takes, this is what we're gonna do. This is conservation on the very front line. These are tough people that work this 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And this is just one little moment in a year in the life of one of these field biologists. Unbelievable people and responsible for the future of our wildlife. Well, we found a nice flat spot here a little bit away from the den. One of the biologists is going to watch over the female, keep charge of her vitals and make sure that she stays healthy. And we're going to process these cubs, take their biopsy samples, microchip them, and then we'll put them back with mama. Here we go, getting ready to process this little guy.
It's about 1.95.
1.95, yep. There's his chest girth. Just a whopping 29 centimeters.
About 40.4.
So what Will did is just pulled out a little bit of hair, making sure he's getting some hair follicles so they can get the DNA from this little guy.
So these is what they call pit tags, basically like marking what you mark
So
your
it's
dog
just the
with.
same, it says microchip, right?
Exactly, just microchip in there. So right now the cubs are too small to put ear tags in, so we'll just go ahead and microchip them like this.
Well, there's the tiny little transponder, just exactly like the microchip that you'd put in a pet. So this is just like a normal syringe that would deploy medicine, except it's got a much bigger needle, and that little tiny tag is going to slide down into the needle, and this is how they're going to deploy this in between the shoulder blades of these little guys. A little bit of antibiotic ointment. So the chip's in, it's just under his skin. Will's just going to make sure, there we go, it's red. Okay, let's get him all wrapped up, get warm again. On to the next one, right? Here we go. Man, he's got some claws on him. So now what we're going to do is just do some measurements. We're going to start off with the chest girth. It's about the same, I think, eh?
40.6.
40.6 centimeters from the tip of his nose to the base of his tail. Let's get him wrapped up and warm again. He's going to get he's got a really nice blaze on his chest. Look at that, oh. Isn't that cool? A little dab of antibiotic. And he's done and ready to get back with mama. Well, we've weighed these little guys, we've measured them, taken some hair samples so they've got the DNA, they've been microchipped, and now we just got to get them back with mama and wait for her to wake up so that they're all safe. And let me tell you, this kind of experience on the very front line of conservation, this is what it takes. Hopefully these two little dudes are going to go on to sire lots and lots more cubs. And as this bear population grows and continues to populate these beautiful wild forests, they're going to be the excuse for protecting an area like this. Just as these guys represent the next generation of bears, educating our kids so we've got another generation of conservationists is equally important. Well, we're just going to get ready to send this one back off to its mum. It's going to be once again happy and dry and warm. Here we go, little guy. Well, we've just put this little guy back with his mom. It's amazing. As soon as he got with her, he just stopped squawking. So she's still fast asleep here. She's a huge, big, old, healthy girl. She's been processed. The cubs have been processed. We're ready to get them back with mom and then leave them to wake up in peace. Here we go. Come on, little duty. I'm gonna get him back with mom. You know, there's always a start, a beginning, and an end of every conservation initiative. But all the way along the way, you've got these crucial little steps. And I tell you what, when you see these little guys back with mom, they stop crying immediately. She's still fast asleep, but the first thing that they do is just snuggle into her hair like this
Let me tell you, this is the very front line of conservation, and this is conservation that really matters.
So now that we've put the cubs back with mom and they're nursing and cozy again, we're going to set up a trail camera here. So what that will tell us is if both of these cubs come out of the den with mom
and make it
to that point. So we'll know that sometimes they do lose them in the dens, and so this will tell us for sure how many come out with her, and then we'll know how many to look for when we go back in next year.
We've got 2 trail cameras. We've got one on the top and one on the side. She's still fast asleep, but she's getting ready to wake up here pretty shortly. The cubs are back with her. It's nice and warm in the den. So we're getting ready to head out. Cubs are back with mom. They microchipped, they weighed, they measured. Mom's had all of her measurements taken. She's had her collar replaced. What an incredible initiative. This has taken a few hours, but it goes back in a second. Just a lot to be done in a short amount of time, and she's about to wake up, and everybody's healthy, so I'm gonna get back up this mountain and back up to the lab. There's no greater joy than seeing successful conservation in action. Here, at one time, like so many places, humans brought black bears to extinction. And so it's humbling to see firsthand that we're capable of righting such wrongs. It's a privilege to witness, and through the continued efforts of conservationists like Sarah Lyder, Jeff Ford and their team, it's a species I hope can be preserved for generations to come.